life empowered is closer than you think. We're all looking for a better way. Reimagine what's next with a new sense of exuberance. Why not power on like you mean it? Or power off blissfully? A better sleep is a better awake. You've never moved like this before. With the energy nature intended. Imagine reprogramming the way you look at the speed of science. At longevity. At exhilaration. It's next level rejuvenation. Take control of your well-being from the inside out and outside in. The light within is ready to ignite. Be the light. LifeWave.
Go. You know, it's JP and Max here to do a quick woo-way. Lots of moving on the Devil's chessboard. Trump has got the USS Abraham Lincoln in the Gulf of Hormuz right now. There's been some intelligence agency attacks in Iran. Who knows what it is? They said it was a gas attack, but it looks like sabotage. And the Israelis were like right away, we didn't do it. It wasn't us. Just never mind the blood on our hands. Never mind the blood, Gaza. We didn't do it. Never trust a psychopath like BBC Netanyahu. And then you got the Kurds fighting back against the puppet government in Syria. A lot of fighting going on right now in the Middle East. And then Elon Musk stopped the Starlink for both the Russians and the Ukrainians. Drones only up to 35 miles per hour. So that's going to help out the Ukrainians quite a bit. I didn't know Russia was using Starlink, but I guess Elon's an equal opportunity employer. Hey, Max, come on. What are you doing? Let's go. Don't eat it. It's not a biscuit. Ready? Go. Cut left, cut left. All right. So here's a couple clips from South Front and Telegram. Hope you enjoy.
The Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces continue to show fierce resistance as the forces of the Islamist-led Syrian Transitional Government attempt to expand its control in northeastern Syria amid a ceasefire. After taking over most of Raqqa and Deir ez-Zor and reducing SDF control to the east of the Euphrates River to a pocket around the town of Kobani in the eastern Aleppo countryside and half of El Hasaka in a lightning offensive, the STG on January 20th announced a 4-day ceasefire as a part of an agreement with the group to implement a merger agreement reached earlier. Clashes ceased after the announcement, and the next day, the United States Military Central Command launched an operation to transfer up to 7,000 ISIS detainees from northeastern Syria to Iraq. On January 23rd, Syria's Interior Ministry announced that it had taken over El Aktan prison in the northeastern outskirts of the city of Raqqa. On January 26th, all hell broke loose, with the STG attacking the towns of Karab el-Ashik and El Jalabiya to the southeast of Kobani. The drone units of the SDF inflicted heavy losses on government forces, even destroying an entire convoy. The forces failed to capture any of the towns, but took over the Lafarge cement plant to the south of Karab el-Ashik. The STG also launched a fairly large attack on the town of El Safa in the eastern countryside of El Hasaka. SDF fighters put on fierce resistance there, but eventually lost the town to government forces. As these battles were taking place, the Russian military withdrew some troops and equipment from Kamishli International Airport and nearby posts in the northern El-Hasaka countryside. Also on January 27th, Syrian President Ahmad el-Sharaa held another meeting in Damascus with SDF Commander-in-Chief Mazloum Abdi to push the merger process forward. Despite reports of progress, sporadic clashes returned to northeastern Syria the next day. All in all, trust is still absent between the SDG and the SDF. The latter has clearly taken the decision to fight until the end. While government forces advance rapidly in Raqqa and Deir ez-Zor, the situation in Kobani and El-Hasaka is very different. Any decision by the government to take over these areas by force will likely cause a massacre.
According to reports from January 29th, U.S. President Donald Trump personally requested that his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin stop missile strikes on Ukraine's energy infrastructure. Moscow agreed to the proposal to demonstrate its commitment to peacefully resolving the Ukrainian conflict. Kiev has been given a week's reprieve just as the harshest weather is expected. However, it will not be possible to repair the infrastructure in such a short time. Meanwhile, on the humanitarian front, the first exchange of deceased soldiers' bodies in 2026 took place on January 29th. Ukraine received 1,000 bodies, while 38 were returned to Russia. Throughout the exchange period, Ukraine has received a total of 22,365 bodies, while Russia has received 3,333. The ratio of bodies transferred in all exchanges is 6.71 to 1. On the battlefield itself, in the Sumy region east of the city of Glukov, the Russian army is expanding its bridgehead in the Kamarivka area. Ukrainian units were driven out of Belaya-Belyoza, a village that is now under Russian control. On January 29th, Russian units crossed the border into the northeastern part of the Kharkiv region and occupied the Chugunivka border checkpoint. This area could serve as a staging ground for a joint offensive from Volchansk. The city of Konstantinovka remains the hottest spot on the Slavyansk-Kramatorsk section of the front. There has been increased activity by Russian bomber aircraft in the area. The heaviest FAB-3000 aerial bombs are being used against Ukrainian unit strongholds in the city. Near the city of Orikov in the Zaporozhye region, Russian army advance units are moving towards Novoandrivka. This settlement is located close to the city's outskirts. The most active area on the Zaporozhye section of the front remains the approaches to Zaporozhye on the Primorsk-Novoyakovlivka line. The situation in this area remains difficult. Furthermore, there are reports that the Ukrainian command is pulling reserves up for a counterattack on this line. Over the past day, the Russian army has increased its activity in two areas of northern Ukraine, the Sumy and Kharkiv regions. Clearly, the command intends to expand the front and stretch Ukrainian reserves across multiple crisis points. Meanwhile, Russian troops are attempting to encircle Kupiansk from the north, endangering Ukrainian reserves in the area. The Ukrainian army is holding its positions in the Sumy region. However, the Ukrainian command is having a hard time replenishing the 71st Airborne Brigade, the 80th Air Assault Brigade, and the 225th Assault Regiment. Not enough personnel are arriving from training centers, and many of them are deserting. In an attempt to solve this problem, the Ukrainian army disbanded all international legions. Their personnel were sent to replenish the ranks of infantry and assault units. This caused a wave of indignation among foreign mercenaries. The number of them leaving the army for their home countries increased exponentially. In the short term, the Ukrainian command solved the personnel problem. However, the effects of such reforms usually do not last for more than a couple of months. On the night of January 27th, the mayor of Kharkiv reported that 80% of the city was left without power due to missile and drone strikes. Kharkiv's infrastructure is now being destroyed faster than it can be repaired. The Russian army is paying particular attention to destroying any facilities associated with unmanned aerial vehicles. On January 26th, a Ukrainian warehouse containing various types of drones was destroyed by a missile strike in Kurachikina, a village in the Kharkiv region. The supply of drones to Ukrainian forces in this area will be extremely limited for some time. On the northern flank of the Slavyansk-Kramatorsk section of the front, the fighting for Reznikivka is coming to an end. From there, a further offensive may develop toward Dai Alexandrovka. In the Dnipropetrovsk region, the Russian 90th Tank Division has advanced in the Ivanovka area. In this sector, it can be assumed that Russian troops have reached operational space. The next Ukrainian line of defense runs much further north, beyond the Kamenka River. The Gileipol area has seen little activity over the past month. This may indicate that the most combat-ready Russian units have been redeployed elsewhere. It is likely that the redeployment took place in the Kupiansk and Slavyansk-Kramatorsk agglomeration area. Meanwhile, the Russian army continues its tactical advances. On January 26th, assault groups began fighting for Zalienice, which is located west of Gallipoli. Tactical successes were also achieved south of the city, near the railway.
On the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.